Hey guys, this is Random Stuff with Alex Hughes, and today is day, I believe, 20. What is today? Today's day 23 of the self-transformation journey. So today I actually had a bit of trouble sleeping last night. That's probably because I was watching the fireworks, and that went on till about 9:20, and then I didn't end up going to sleep to bed till about like 10:30, which is kind of normal. But I've been trying to go to sleep at 9 o'clock, and all that excitement with the fireworks, which were really being like shot right next to me, kind of kept me awake in an excited state. So I actually didn't. I don't know. I was like laying in there in bed, but I couldn't necessarily go all the way to sleep. I took the melatonin, and then I took I had the tea, the chamomile with ashwagandha and some magnesium. But I think it was just all that excitement early on that made it hard to wind down a bit. But yeah, so I ended up doing the walk today. I walked up East Vista Way. It's pretty quiet, and then I walked up Warmlands and ended up seeing a coyote again. So I decided to kind of cut that short. I did find another channel that I've been watching. It's called Huge Loads. So if you guys check it out on YouTube, you'll find out that it's definitely geared more towards men, and it's about the retention kind of aspect of things and trying to take care of your health down there. So yeah, I was watching that. Very informative videos, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't know all this stuff about men's health because I didn't really grow up with a family with any men in it, so I had to figure this out myself. But so yeah, I took a lot of notes of some goals I wanted to achieve, and some different like health foods to use to help out with male health. And I went to Sprouts and I got some things. I got a bag of walnuts. I can add this to smoothies or just have this as a snack. It's supposed to be good for you. I know walnuts in general are pretty healthy. Then I got some unsalted pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds here. I got raw Brazil nuts. To be honest, the Sprouts store brand is a lot cheaper. I was actually gonna buy the packets that they had, and those were actually more expensive. There was also some snack ones. Snack size ones that were like the price was just high. I mean, the price for this stuff was pretty expensive because nuts are usually fairly expensive. Goji berries. I was about to say the smell is really good. We actually have goji berries in our garden, and I guess this is actually pretty expensive, and it's from China. But I spent the money on it, so I'm gonna eat it. Actually, it smells really good. It smells like some sort of bread. Like if you were cooked like a banana bread. This is probably the greatest part. The organic cocoa nibs. This smells like heaven. It smells so good. Oh my god, yeah. Wow. The smell of cocoa. If you smell cocoa nibs, this smells great. It reminds me of the stuff that my mom used to put in her garden. Just the cocoa nibs or something like that. It smells super good. And then of course sunflower seeds, raw. So I actually had this for lunch. I put a serving of the sunflower seeds, cocoa nibs, goji berries in my smoothie, and it was actually really good. The cocoa nibs were great. The goji berries were great. The goji berries, the fresh ones we had outside, were kind of bitter. That's what I noticed, but these taste a lot sweeter. And I had a smoothie that I added some bananas that I bought, strawberries I bought blackberries, I bought a red pepper, avocados, garlic, all in the effort to kind of promote my health down there, and yeah, that's something that isn't necessarily discussed too much and that I noticed. This channel does a great job. It covers other things that I don't really see as necessary because, I'm going no-fap hard mode, so none of that stuff. But as for just trying to promote my health in that area, I would say that, yeah, this stuff is definitely beneficial. Supposedly, I don't know how accurate that channel is. Some of the thumbnails, like I said, I don't ever plan on going back to that lifestyle of the PMO cycle. So some of the thumbnails could be triggering for some people potentially, but for me, I guess it's kind of a debate for me whether or not, like, what to watch and what not to watch, because, you know, when you're on the NoFap community and the retention, they do talk about a lot of explicit stuff, technically, some of their experiences, so it's kind of like you have to pick and choose, like, you know, it's talking about, like, it's part of the community, so it's kind of something you got to absorb. But yeah, so I wrote down a list of other food items I'm probably going to get tomorrow. Like I said, some of these supplements, some of these foods are pretty expensive, so I'm definitely going to eat them little by little. You know, I'm not going to overdo it. I've been watching so many of those videos from retention and NoFap and supplements, and through the NoFap forums and through a couple of the videos I was watching, you know, about what type of foods to eat on the NoFap journey. I bought maca. I heard about it. One guy said it tasted awful, but I bought the capsules. And to be honest, it actually tasted pretty good. It reminded me of chocolate. It looks like chocolate powder, like cocoa powder, and it wasn't as bad as he made it out to be, because I put it in my smoothie, and I definitely noticed, I don't know, it could be placebo, but I did notice an effect, kind of a weird sensation, and I definitely had a lot of energy. If you guys know what maca does, so I mean, yeah, so I did feel something. I just felt a lot of energy today, you know. I guess by eating these foods, you know, it's supposed to promote certain health for men specifically, so I'm definitely feeling the effects of that. Yeah, so I ended up going on the bus. I took the bus down over to Planet Fitness. Luckily, they were open. I did weights, 8 to 10 pounds. I finished Jay Today, his channel, going through his videos. And then I ended up going back to Huge Loads. I've been watching that channel. It's really informative. It's kind of a strange channel because there's no real person talking. It's actually like Microsoft Sam talking. In the videos, I've seen those type of videos before on YouTube, and they're kind of strange, and it makes you question their authenticity. But I know they mention a lot of, you know, pretty like informative stuff, like drinking a lot of water, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, and, you know, certain supplements for men specifically. So I definitely am open to that. I'll have to, you know, do my own research on some other things they mentioned, because, you know, some of the supplements I've never heard of them before, so I don't want to go too fast on that. But yeah, so I watched that channel, and I ended up taking the bus down to the beach, and I sat there in the shade. Luckily, I found a spot underneath a palm tree. I didn't really have too much sunscreen, so I didn't really want to burn up too much, because my skin is pretty sensitive, and it'll burn, basically, and I get a lot of freckles. So yeah, I spent some time writing some post-it notes, trying to focus on the focus at the beach is essential, especially under the NoFap journey, because there's a lot of distractions out there. So it's kind of like, you know, you want to go there for the environment and the atmosphere, but you got to be careful for the eye candy. You got to be mindful, you know. But as long as you are confident in yourself and you kind of do that dominant posture, then you're kind of more in control. Whereas, you know, if you have a wandering mind, you know, your mind's always like, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about, especially if you're in the early days of NoFap, you know, a lot of those triggers. But eventually, you know, you can control your mind through your body language, and you feel a lot more confident, and you feel like, I'm in control at the moment. And that's something they mention in the retention community, about how if you feel confident, then you won't be as distracted, because you'll be like, she can come to me, you know. So yeah, I did notice the beach. I ended up going over to shoot some hoops. Like I said, I was just trying to pay attention. I want to say that the universe is probably throwing some stuff at me, to be honest, but maybe it's just the summer. I'm trying to work on my communication skills, I said yesterday, and I did a pretty good job at that, actually, at Sprouts, asking for help, because I actually did need some help, because I didn't really know. Like I said, I'm used to Fraser Farms, so I was able to find some stuff. But yeah, I did ask the cashier. It was a cashier and somebody else. They're both girls are my age, and yeah, it took some courage. Actually, it was kind of like something where, you know, I would have second guessed myself. I'd be like, oh, I'll find it myself, because I was too nervous to talk to them, because, you know, they're girls, you know. But I decided to do that, and it actually worked out pretty well. They were very hospitable, and I actually went to the same girl that helped me at the cashier, and yeah, she was very nice. So I ended up striking up a conversation, and yeah, I just want to say that, the thing is that if you want to get less nervous around girls, like Gabe said, Gabe Dog, the raw truth, he said that, you got to go out there and practice with the people specifically at the store who are supposed to help you out, because that's the easiest way to start. And then you realize that, they're not as scary as they seem, and especially if you're on the retention journey, you start to realize that you have the power within you, because you're cultivating energy, that male energy, the dominant alpha male energy, so then you can go out there and be like, well, I'm in control, so it doesn't scare you as much. And so when you're in public, you pass by a girl, you feel a lot more in control. And I think that's, some guys are looking for girlfriends. I'm not looking for that. I'm on NoFap hard mode, and I took the certain pill. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I just realized that I want to focus on myself. But that being said, I do have some issues with communication, so I want to work on that. So that's why I'm going out of my way to open those lines of communication when I see necessary, and also to show those signs of dominance and just being confident in public, because if you let the nervousness get the best of you, then you get intimidated. As a guy, you're like, oh, she's out of your league or something like that, and then you feel like, oh, she's way above me. But the reality is, we're on an equal playing field, right? Isn't that what we always talk about, equality, where each of us is equal as individuals? So if that's the case, then you shouldn't feel as intimidated, right? You can go up and ask, have an objective, like while you're going to speak at, like if you're at the store, like, can you help me find something, please? Or I'm trying to look for this item, or the cashier asked some advice, especially at a natural food store, like, what are some vitamins that you recommend, or what are some foods that you eat as part of a healthy lifestyle, because Sprouts is known for, it's definitely, the price of Sprouts is, my goodness, guys, wow. It's definitely a little bit on the pricier side. It's probably not as pricey as, Whole Foods, but then again, that could be a stereotype, but yeah, so I ended up, I came back and I took a cold shower. My experience with a cold shower is that I felt a lot of energy afterwards, more energy than usual, and in a certain area, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I know that people use cold showers for, to kind of calm themselves down, but for me, it's like, it energized me in a different way than I expected, because usually with cold showers, the reaction is in a way to stop those urges, but the reality is like, wow, it actually like boosted me up, and so I felt it wasn't what I was expecting, and so the past 2 days I've been really focusing the stream of cold water, as you guys know, on a certain area, the cold water, specifically in that area, so I could see the benefits, I would say, and it was just an opposite reaction, to be honest. But yeah, it was very the cold shower was very energizing, and just afterwards you feel like a rush. It's just like a rush in a certain area. You feel awake, like physically, but there's a rush in a concentrated area. You're like, whoa, maybe that's the testosterone or something. But yeah, so I ended up shoot the video. I brought the flag in because you got to bring it in before the sun sets. But yeah, today was great. Yeah, I woke up and I was pretty excited because I kind of had a new set of goals that I was like working on, and it's kind of nice when you have like something you're working on in your life and you're gonna recognize, wow, I have this something to work towards, and not necessarily just like a job, not necessarily money, not necessarily community service, but yourself, like to see that progress within yourself. So like today I was like motivated. That's why I watched the Huge Loads channel, because I was motivated to take action on my own the retention health, the side of things. I've been, like I said, I've been on retention since 2016, specifically with NoFap. Like I said, I've had some dreams along the way that, I don't know if it counts as, like I said, I'm not really part of the retention community. I did NoFap, like I said, since 2016, and I'm still on that streak. But the retention side of things is a little bit different, and there's definitely a focus on the health of your you guys know what I'm talking about, the health of that area for men. And this channel really opened my eyes to just how important, like I said, as a guy, growing up in a family all women, you don't get that exposure to that side of things. They don't talk about it in school either, even in certain ed classes. And even when they talk about the body, they don't really focus on that. They kind of skip at. And for a guy, it's so important, because as we know, that's why we do NoFap, is we're abstaining, and that allows us to cultivate that energy within us. That's like super powerful, like super powerful. You could manifest anything that you set your mind to with this energy. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to invest, like I said, in these different food items, seeds, nuts, dried berries, and the vegetables, to focus on that, and to use that strategy, the target strategy that I worked on for a while, to just really improve that part of my body, because I ignored it for so much. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care if I put a laptop on my lap. I didn't really care. Like, it's hot laptop or even a hot shower. I thought, oh, it's comfortable. That's what I always grew up with. But you see, as a guy, it's like, wow, the laptop actually has an effect. Or the warm shower is not good for you, or the clothes you wear, or the exercises you do. It's like, I didn't learn any of this stuff. Society doesn't tell you this stuff. And maybe there's a agenda. I don't know. But like I said, I felt a lot of energy today, a lot of I guess male energy. It's crazy, because like I said, I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with this idea that I was supposed to be more. I felt like I needed to be more feminine, because I guess I grew up in a house surrounded by that. So there were some things. I was just looking at my journal from second grade, where it's like I painted my nails green, nail polish, and I put on high heels, and I do remember that vividly. And it's like, why would I do that? I'm a guy, So for me, it's like I realized that there were some things that affected my perception of reality, of who I was, and I think that affected my mental and physical health, because it's like trying to be somebody that you're not. Like, I'm a guy, so I should take care of myself in that way, not pretend to be something else. It'd be like, me taking certain things specifically for women. I mean, I'm taking the protein powder, which is for women because it's cheap, and the other one was like chocolate. But yeah, but you guys, I hope you guys get what I mean. It's just that since I'm a guy, I have certain hormones and body systems that a woman doesn't have, so I have to take care of that accordingly in order to have it in optimum health and to see those I guess benefits. Like, for example, with retention, I could do NoFap, but if I do that and my diet's still poor, I'm not exercising, I'm not thinking right, then that NoFap isn't going to hold me. And that's a couple videos I watched where it's this idea where you could do NoFap, but there's like other pieces of the pie that you got to address. So I gotta start winding down, so I don't end up laying in bed for like 5 hours trying to sleep. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be great, because I'm gonna focus more on buying things that are gonna improve my retention abilities, food, certain clothes, certain supplements that I'm gonna look into. Build that masculine energy, build that testosterone, and build more confidence. Like I said, when you do body language postures, you just feel confident. You just feel like you're in control. You take these foods and you're like, wow, I know it's gonna, maybe it's just psychological, but that psychological willpower is extremely powerful. Affirmations, believing that what you're doing is having an impact. And that's exactly what I do with community service. And I manifested those into reality because I believe that you know, what I was doing was having an effect on the community, and it did have an effect. Like, I attracted those manifestations into my life, and it boosted my confidence. And so that's what I'm seeing today is I'm buying these things and I'm manifesting a better life for myself at the end of the day. So I look forward to making food. I'm actually going to go back to just cooked foods. I bet Gabe would be kind of upset about that, right? Because, you know, I was doing so much fruit. I was still eating cooked foods, but mainly fruit. But yeah, going back to that regular lifestyle, focusing on those retention food items. So I'll see you guys day 23 or 24 tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much. Peace.